So we're going to stay with the spiral ride in situations that we get in with the spiral. I want to continue with the breakdowns. And remember, the breakdown is always to this bar, the single arm bar, okay? And I'll focus a little bit on how we're going to grab that bar each and every time. And as we get a little further in the video, we'll work some turns. But what we find sometimes is tripods off the whistle. And when we feel tripods off the whistle in our spiral ride, we want to stay aggressive with it. Sometimes it's the best kind of situation that you can have, especially with good, strong athletes that is hard to break down, is if they go to the tripod, sometimes it gets really easy for the breakdown in the spiral ride. So we'll work our spiral ride out of this breakdown. What happens when we come up, when we get high, okay, the whistle blows, okay, they immediately tripod from the whistle. Well, you can't tripod very good. Okay, come on, get those legs wide, ready, wrestle, okay, and we end up out here. And they end up wanting to walk their hands, okay, back underneath their legs. Keep walking them. Come on, come on, come on, to stand up, okay, and that's kind of what takes place here, okay. But when we find ourselves in this tripod and we're in the spiral ride, make a half turn, right there. Here's where our body movement. We're still going to be high, but I got to be hooked in here. This is important, and I've got this short hook, not a shoulder hook. I still need my weight on that far side here. Now, I'm also with this pry here is keeping me hooked in here. Okay, make a half turn again this way. Right up, come back, right there. Okay, this is keeping me in here. So if I have a free arm, all right. Now, what I'm wanting to do in this position is a couple things. I can step on this far toe right here. I can step on this far toe. Okay, and sometimes make it an easy breakdown. Okay, but what I really like to do from here is I like to get my leg inside. Okay, right here, and so I get pinched in with our hips here. We're locked in here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate him over the top of my leg into a bar here. Okay, so I'm rotating. Okay, I like it because that position. This position allows me to take him right to his belly. I can extend his legs out as well as his head and chest and his arms. Okay, make a half turn. Okay, comes up, walk underneath, walk your hands underneath your legs. There. No, there. Okay, I'm coming in here. So I'm here, and now all I'm doing is straightening this leg, and as I straighten this leg, I'm elevating it over the top of my hip right here, okay, to the wrist. Now, come back around. Let's talk about the wrist. Anytime he drops to his elbow and we're attacking the wrist, and again, all this is coming from the spiral ride to put him in this position, okay? When I go to grab, I'm actually grabbing the fat part of his hand right here, okay? From right here to here. This is what I want to control, right around that wrist. But I want to catch part of that hand, okay? And the reason I do that, rather than taking the wrist, is he can roll the wrist out. Here I control the hand from him being able to roll the wrist. And so I think anytime you'll feel the grip here, you have a much better grip to do what you want with. Whether we're running it to a spiral, whether we're running it to a 2-on-1 tilt, whether we're running it to putting it on his back, it's just a much better position. So I find it really hard that kids, their whole life has always grabbed the wrist. And so the one thing I've learned over several years is that you got to keep reminding your student athletes, wrist, we're controlling above the wrist, okay, not at the wrist. So reminding them to control the hand, okay? And once you control the hand, you're going to find that you have a lot more control of that wrist and him rolling that out. So again, back up. Here's what happens. We hit, back down. Let's talk about the position. Okay, I hit him with the spiral ride and he tripods. Ready to go? And he tripods. Leg comes in, okay? I take this leg in from here. Okay, I'm gonna straighten my leg and I'm gonna rotate him right over the top. Okay. Now we got the wrist taking it where we want. Okay, back up. A lot of times, guys will walk their hands up under their legs, and when you find that, if I'm here and you find that, they'll walk their hands. All I'm going to do as he walks his hands, come on, walks his hands, I'm going to slide back. Nope, keep walking. Keep walking. Keep after. Come on, come on. Okay, I'm going to slide this. See how I slide my knee? Now, I take him back down to the wrist. Okay, I'm still in the spiral. My head's still on that opposite side. Okay, remember, my position in all these different positions that we're working, back up, all the way up, all the way up. My position in all these skills that we're learning, I'm always keeping my head over here, I'm always flanked, and I'm always underneath the armpit, no matter where I'm at. So this scenario is, he's tripoding, and really what he's doing, he's overpowering me. Strong, maybe a really strong athlete, strong wrestler, a good flexibility, and he walks that tripod stand up right up to his feet. So right at the last second, I'm going to take both of my knees and I'm going to cripple his one leg. I'm going to take him right behind there. So I run the spiral, I'm inside here, he's walking back. Now as he's walking back, I don't do this until he starts to, I feel his head popping up on me, okay? Okay, right here. Once I get here, I can take him either way. I always like to go to the same side because that's my strong hand, okay? Back up. Really good blade down from this tripod. Back up. And remember, this is something where you keep the pressure on them and make them walk their hands underneath, okay? Don't give it to them. Don't slide back with two knees behind when the pressure doesn't force you to do that. The only time you slide two knees behind is when this guy's bringing the pressure to you. His head and chest is coming up because he's strong, he's physically strong, and he's able to do that. If not, I'm not going to let him do it. So you try to tripod, get to your feet. Ready? Press. I'm going to attack that wrist. Okay? Now, so we're going to pretend that he's coming up and he's just outpowering me here. Ready? We're here, and he comes back. Okay? Right here, and I feel it now. Right here. Before those hands come up, I see what I just did. I come out of this position, I recognize he's coming up, and as he's starting to come up, I'm crippling him. Okay? Now, from here, I can break him down to this side and take this wrist. Okay? I don't like that because my right arm isn't as strong as my left arm, so I want to bring him back to this side. Now I run him forward, okay, and I'm back in position to fight the